This meeting is being recorded. Alert.
We have to mute a few people here if we need to. I think, John, we have to mute there. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Happy Co. There we go. Everybody got muted and I got unmuted right away. Okay, we'll start again there. Welcome, everyone. I'm Al Keranen. I'll be your host tonight for tonight's Happy Co. opportunity call. We're pleased to have you on here tonight, and make no mistake about it, we want you to join us. We want you to join us as a customer. We want you to join us as an associate. But most of all, we want to say thank you for taking the time to come on this call. We've got a lot of people that have a lot of experience in relationship marketing, and they're pleased to talk about what's happened for them in the Happy Co. So we're going to start off with Jordan Monroe. She is one of our top leaders. She's a fantastic lady to get to know. And Jordan, if you wouldn't mind sharing your story, I'd love you to launch her off tonight.
Hey, Al. Hey, everybody in Happy Land. Hey, Dad. I guess that's where my story begins. My dad and my mom, Glen and Regan Hubbard, introduced me to this industry as a youngin'. I grew up in this industry. They were a part of another company, and I got to really understand the beauty behind the power of what this industry has. And, you know, we always talk, it's not just product, not just a business, it's a community, it's self-development. It's really a consciousness of being a mold breaker. Like, this is not the norm. You get to be extraordinary in this industry. And there's no limit. That's what I love. That's what attracted me to it. And now, being a seasoned veteran, I guess they call me, cutting my teeth with the company for the last 13 years and really learning and understanding the depths and the power behind this industry. We kind of all came, our team, who you're going to hear from tonight, we kind of came to a breaking point. And I talk about a breaking point because I want everyone to understand that this industry is about a structure. And if you're in the right structure, you can do incredible things. It's not personal, it's structure. And so for 13 years, the leaders that you're going to hear from tonight, we were in a problem-solving structure. And when you're in a problem-solving structure, it's Band-Aid, Band-Aid, Band-Aid. When you go into a creative structure, it is visionary, it is explosive, and it is certain that you will succeed. And certain that you will succeed when you plug in and do what it takes, right? So when we looked at the Happy Co, because of the problem-solving structure that went away, our company closed down, we looked at Happy Co, and really about 7 tick marks we looked at, and Happy Co exceeded those check marks of what we wanted when we wanted to join. A company with leadership, a company with, again, a vision to go worldwide. That's what we always wanted. So although we had been successful there, here we are in Happy Co, August of last year. And within 2 weeks, I graciously, with my team, was able to hit platinum. My parents went diamond, and we were really off to the races. Well, here's my real story, right? My husband and I, for 7 years, had been trying to conceive. And it wasn't, again, remember, I came in for the business, right? But I had to get on the product to make sure I loved it. And turns out within 3 weeks, my next cycle, we conceived, and now we have a 12-week-old who's my husband's walking around, Archer Paxton Monroe. And it's incredible. You know, I don't want to make any medical claims that this product did it, but the only thing I added was the Happy Co products. As far as the business, this is more exciting than I ever could have imagined. The structure that we have a hold of, the financial strength that we have, the vision that we have with a corporate team who has been a part of this industry, boots on the ground in the field, and knows what we need to succeed is phenomenal. And then to have leadership from this team, from Judy and Mark, from everyone in Happy Co. There has never been a more kind, welcoming field that I've been a part of. Again, in the 15 years, I've really been a part of this industry. So Al, happy to be here, happy to share. Can't wait to see everyone at National Convention in November.
You know what the great part is with Archer coming into the family fold now, he could be a second generation of a diamond, black diamond, royal black crown ambassador, whatever it is. And here's the cool part. Even if you, as you nourish him with money all these years, he could end up paying you back in your retirement age. So it's all awesome. So,
again, Al, it's all about being in a creative structure. We create it all, man. Let's do it.
that's great. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate you coming
Thanks,
on.
guys.
Dr. Stephen Kiangiano, welcome to our call tonight. And if you wouldn't mind, share a little bit of your background and then talk about America Quits, because you did a segment for us the other day. I thought it was outstanding. I think everybody will really enjoy it. So Dr. Stephen, great friend, great leader, been very successful in relationship marketing, stepped away from it for a number of years, but came back to this company here after being a 20-year exit from the industry.
Yeah, it was a long 20 years. So thank you, Al. Yeah, so my background is I was in academic medicine for 13 years, then Wall Street, and now I publish 4 magazines. Now, most people on the call would probably have heard me talk about the Healthy Longevity magazines. Well, I also have, my wife publishes these, is a social change magazine. It's called Humanity Upgrade. The stories that are happening in society with this unbelievable change, my wife was affected by it. She had the most successful independent IT publishing, media, and events business. And in a 2-week span in March of 2020, her value in the marketplace collapsed to zero. It was even worse than zero because she had magazines and websites that she had to keep going. She continued to have expenses. All events were canceled. And that is common in today's day and age. We are living in the greatest moment of change in human history. Now, there's some counterintuitive things that have happened. The first thing I want to talk about is what many people say, I quit. It's called the Great Resignation. 4 million people will not return to work. Now, many of them, because it's time to go back because of COVID, many of them are blaming COVID, but the real reason is that people want meaning and value in their work. And they listed 7 things. I'll say them really quickly because there's some other things I really want to get to. People wanting, and you have to value is relationship marketing. Just keep it in your head, a mental note. Does relationship marketing give you these things that people want that has caused this great resignation? Number 1, engagement. Do they want engagement? Do they want purpose, optimism, belonging, productivity, meaning, and connection? That's what people are looking for. And that's why they're not going back to traditional work. The other thing is this. Forbes, May 21st, 2020, they say that 79 million people will enter the home-based business within the next 5 years. 3 billion results come up on home-based business. 30,000 people look at home-based business on a daily basis. That's 210,000 a week. It is mind-boggling. This is one of the greatest dynamic shifts in human work history by far. Let's talk about a couple of other things. Automation. The number 1 occupation in America is truck driving. The number 1 state in the country, it is the number 1 occupation. It's California. 50% of those jobs will be lost over the next 10 years to automation. Las Vegas, Nevada. This was pre-COVID. These figures may have changed. 64% of those jobs are vulnerable to automation. There is a mass migration to digital and e-commerce. We know this through the tremendous success of Amazon. We know this through the tremendous success of Uber. Uber Eats went up 152% in revenues from about $2.5 billion to almost $6 billion in a year and a half during the pandemic. Mind-boggling. There is also a mass migration to home-based business. This is the greatest moment of change in human history. This is the greatest change in workforce evolution since the 1712, when Thomas Newcomen invented the atmospheric engine, which became the steam engine, which sparked the Industrial Revolution. And we have changed our workforce, our habits more in the last year and a half than in probably the last 300 years. So you have to ask, does Happy Co fill a need in the marketplace? The answer's up to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Stephen. Appreciate you coming on. I hope some of you guys got those stats. We'll go ahead and maybe see if you can type a few of those in there at the bottom. Next up is Ginger Tyler, and Ginger is someone that I've gotten to know over the last 7-8 years before we came to the Happy Co. And she is a remarkable lady. She owns her own farmers insurance agency. Her and her husband own a bar. They're very successful. But bottom line is she's still trapped. And so if you wouldn't mind, Ginger, I'd love you to share difference between what we saw here and what was happening to you before. So Ginger, welcome to the call.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, and my husband owns a heating and air conditioning business. So between the three businesses, really, I've never wanted another business, but I was always drawn to network marketing for the additional income stream. You know, in my insurance world, I learned the power of residual income a long time ago on what it was like to make a little bit of money, but to see that compound like interest, but in my favor for a change. So I was always drawn to that. But you know, with the prior company, it was just very scientific. Had to put on my lab coat, which I personally love, but most people don't. And so it really was hard to be duplicatable. And like Jordan talked about, just they really didn't have the systems in place to take me to a level that I wanted to, you know, as far as selling my office. You know, I was looking for that freedom. But what was really neat is coming into this company, what took me 5 years to build at that other company, I built in 5 months. And, you know, and that was starting from scratch. I wasn't able to bring 99% of those people with me. So that told me very quickly, it was like, wow, this is actually happening, you know, and to have something that's as easy as just sharing a cup of coffee or getting someone to switch out their tea or their lemonade with ours. It made it to where I was able to build a team because, you know, none of us here on the call can be successful without bringing other people with us. And so that was one of the most exciting things for me. And along the way, there were some great bonuses. And I unexpectedly, almost at the last minute, both my boys were buying a house. And like 2 days before closing, ended up with down payments that they weren't expecting. And I got bonuses that I wasn't expecting. So it was really neat, you know, because that's really what it's about, is how can we make more money and then give and help people. So that was just incredibly awesome. And but speaking of that team and bringing people in, one of those is Leah, who's on the call if you want to mute yourself, but she worked for me at the Pastime, the bar that I owned, for 8 or 9 years. I was able to help her digestively over the years, but I was never able to help up here. You know, we were never able to, you know, get down to the bottom of something. So when I entered Happy Co, I was like, there's my first guinea pig. And I never in a million years, if you fast forward, because it's almost like a year to the day, actually, I think today might be my anniversary. I have to go look at my auto ship, but I never would have thought in a million years that it would have been where we're at today. So Leah, if you want to share your experience.
Sure, thanks for having me. So like Ginger said, I worked for at the bar and I suffered from just being really sad and depression and other things. And doctors wanted to put me on antidepressants and I didn't want to. So when she told me she had this coffee called Happy Coffee, I was willing to try it. And for me, I had that automatic light bulb experience, explosion in my brain, and it turned everything on. And I could not believe how amazing I felt. But I was unemployed because of COVID. So Ginger had this crazy idea that I could become a business partner with her and get my products paid for. So I joined the team, and shortly, just a couple months later, I realized that I could make a living with sharing these products and how easy it was to share these wonderful products with everybody. So within a short time, I think 7 months, I was able to hit platinum. I exceeded every goal I ever thought was possible. And this is something I've never done before. Like I said, I'm just a bartender and I'm just loving what Happy Co has done for me in the transformation. And a year later, I'm still down my 65 pounds and still going. So I'm loving the products and what they've done for me. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey,
Thank
Leah.
you, Leah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Leah, stay on for just a second. I mean, I know we can't make financial claims. Matter of fact, I'm going to put a disclaimer. These are not normal amounts of income, but you had a bonus you got one day. You're coming back from an event where Bo Short was there, our CEO of our publicly traded company. Just tell us what the bonus was, and then we won't talk about it again. I'll pretend like I never asked you this.
It was $8,122.18. And it was the biggest payday of my life. And it was definitely a life changer for me.
Thank you, Leah. And thank you, Ginger. Appreciate you coming on. And I'll probably be whipped for that, but it was fun. Okay, so I enjoyed that. There's no doubt about that. Let's go over to Dr. Roger Boger. You have to unmute yourself, Dr. Roger. He's a great skier. He's a great dentist. He was retired when I first met him. And bottom line is he's had a lot of fun, a lot of success. He's done a lot of good in the world. And Dr. Roger, I know that you could not have gotten behind this company here if you didn't believe in the products. Why are these products something that you can actually take to other doctors and you feel good about, but you feel good for the general layperson like myself?
Well, thanks very much, Al, for the opportunity to share a little bit tonight. Doctors, originally, when they, kids are all the way, when they take an oath, it's called the Hippocratic Oath. And part of that Hippocratic Oath is, first, you will do no harm. Now, when I think about the general milieu of what's going on in medicine today, respectfully around the world, particularly in our country, doing no harm, I'll just leave it at that. I think you can, your brain can move to the next level of what's necessary there. So, but I had the privilege one time of meeting a chiropractor in our former business that Al and I were together with in North Dakota. And it was in the wintertime. And this doctor had a light blue leisure suit on. Many of you don't know what that is. Short-waisted, powder blue. And he said, Doc Boger said, I'd like to take you to lunch. I figured seeing this guy in the dead of winter in North Dakota in a light blue leisure suit, I got to learn something from this guy. So we sat down. He says, Doc Boger, I said, yes. He said, there aren't any side effects. I said, excuse me? He said, vomiting, diarrhea, and death, they're bad effects, not side effects. That stuck with me, Al, forever. I mean, and I never forgot that. So today, inflammation, we know in medicine, is the underlying etiologic factor cause of the three main killers of people in the United States today: heart disease, cancer, and stroke. This product that this company can avail you to has some of the most potent anti-inflammatory effects in the world today. So think about that. The underlying cause of the three main killers is inflammation. And we're not making medical claims, but we have an answer. Number two, the most commonly prescribed medicine today in traditional medicine is for pain. Inflammation is composed of heat, redness, pain, swelling, loss of function. So as an anti-inflammatory, if pain is an issue, that would eliminate some of the problems. And you know, these pharmaceuticals have side effects. The second most prescribed drug in the world today is for sleep. People have difficulty sleeping. Well, I wonder why doctors may want to look at the Happy Co products. Again, we make no medical claims, but we do have ingredients that, dependent upon research, have shown beneficial effects for inflammation and sleep. And right now, people are depressed. Dr. Cangiano alluded to that, depression. We have, in our Happy Co dose products have dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And guess what? Dopamine and serotonin are the happy hormones. So if people are depressed, doctors can either elect in their own inimitable way to prescribe prescription addictive drugs, or they may want to share, as doctors, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. Well, the art of healing, if you were my physician, Al, and I came to the office, the art of healing is about trust. This company here is about trust. We know the founders of this company. We know the backers of this company. They are about trust. And when anybody walks into a doctor's office, the first thing that they feel is they feel 50% better because they trust. There's fiduciary trust of their doctors. So doctors are centers of influence. Why would they want to use the Happy Co products? because they work and because they're natural substances. They've been stacked and put together. They're adaptogens, they're herbal remedies. And doctors who are thinking, Al, back to you, doctors who are thinking will want to avail themselves to this, and also as an additional residual source of income from their practice, because the DRGs and the insurance companies are taking their incomes away. My time is up. Back to you.
You bet. Well, Dr. Roger, before you go, between you and I, we have a lot of degrees. Mine is a phys ed, PE major. Share your background in terms of your degrees. I think that's sort of always impressive.
Well, thank you. I have a bachelor's in biology and master's in cell physiology, taught Ohio State University, got my doctorate from Temple University, oral surgery research fellowship at Albert Einstein North, had the privilege to have business in 30 countries, make millions of dollars, and teach all over the world with Bob Proctor and you, Al Keranen. So that's an abbreviated summation. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Dr. Roger. Appreciate you coming on. We're going to switch over from another intellectual giant. That'd be my buddy, Glen Hubbard. Glen Hubbard is probably one of the most enthusiastic guys. And by the way, what are you, 6'7"? Are you 6'7", Glen?
6'8" and still growing.
6'8".
Wow.
I just hate it when I hug Glen. I have to get on my tiptoes. It just seems wrong. I'm just telling you. Okay. But here's what I will tell you. Glen is one of the most enthusiastic guys I've ever known. He played professional basketball in Europe. He's a fun guy to be around, and he builds huge businesses. So Glen, what do you see in this company, and why are you here?
Well, you know, it's been an exciting year. With unfortunately, COVID was here, and so we had to compromise and do things differently. But there's a little plaque back there that I got the $1 Million Club Award. And between my daughter and I, we pulled in almost $2.4 million, $2.6 million in a short period of time. And so when the other company left, we said, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? In a short period of time, we had to make a decision. Well, with Al's brilliance and Kenny Rossi and the team and a group of other, we found the Happy Co. And what I discovered in this company is we got phenomenal products that you heard. We got a phenomenal corporate team, and we're going somewhere. We're opening up the world. I mean, it was interesting when we joined our team, August 18th of 2020, and we came in, and they were in 4 countries at the time. And last year in COVID, they did $145 million in sales in a really bad year, and they really succeeded and blossomed. And this year, you know, coming out of it, and now the world's starting to shut down again, and what's going on, they opened up 25 countries. And that's a beautiful music to our ears, because we were waiting for a company that was poised. And the other thing that I really like about what we've done and what we witness in this company is the corporate team. You're not going to find a better corporate team that's been there and has done it. And I love that they have Bull Short, and they have a group of Garrett, and they have Sylvia that have taken us to the promised land, and they know how to do it, and they've been there before. And then we have the field leaders, that the people that you're witnessing on this call right now. And you put all that together with Fai Chan, who invested $100 million in our company, that sees the happiness that we're bringing to the world. And we're coming out with some great products that are cutting edge, that are good for the human being and good for the human body. And that's important to us. So we got great products. We got a great company. We got a phenomenal comp plan. Now we can't talk about the bonuses that people are getting, but it's all there. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Melanie. She's been in this business for, I think, 25 years. I've known her. And she listened to Bo Short about how to talk to people, expanding your business in a certain area. And we're looking for quality people. Maybe you're the one, maybe you're not. And if not, no big deal. Great logic, great conversation. And we opened up the San Francisco Unified School District. We have a program they have every year they put on. And they asked me to be a guest speaker with Melanie and promote a home-based business, career change, and looking at it. And I talked to Dr. Boger, that you just witnessed his brilliance on this call. I asked him, the majority of the school teachers and the majority of American people in the world, they're out of shape. They're overweight. They're taking medication. they're not doing well, and they're not getting dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins released into their body every day. But when you get this product in their body, it motivates them to get off the couch and get out there and go get it done. And it's powerful. And like you heard Dr. Stephen Kiangiano said that people are missing that element of life, and we have it to give back. And now it's brilliant. And my focus is in the right structure with my daughter, Jordan, to keep this journey going, to go Royal Black Diamond, create 3 diamond legs, get that 4th one going on, and start building down, like Bo said, and get that residual income that's never going to go away. This company is here to stay. And the stock that you can purchase is another, I call it a double dip. You got not only you build a business, but you got the stock, because when it goes from 145 million in sales in 1 year, and it's going to go to $1 billion in sales in the next 2 to 5, what is the stock going to look like? So I'm double dipping. I'm in. This company's on it's launched, and I'm ready to go.
Fantastic, Glenn. Okay, we got to make a few disclaimers. We're not here to sell stock. It is available. Just you got to do your own research. Okay. And Glen is going to be enthusiastic someday. I just know he's going to break out of his shell. He's actually going to have a good time. Okay. By the way, we'll make a medical disclaimer right now. We can't diagnose, treat, or cure anything. Our products don't do that. But it's amazing when you take it. I mean, like I went to Starbucks, and I was a dyed in the blue Starbucks guy until a year ago. Then I got on the Happy coffee, no more jitters. Man, I just love that. No more jitters. And I was going down there, $7 a whack, basically is what the average ticket is at Starbucks. And basically now I got a better coffee. I got a better functional beverage, and I don't have to go out there and spend that kind of money. Glenn's got
I got to say one thing. I broke down. I went to Starbucks the other day, and I asked for a cup of hot water because I had a stick of Happy Coffee.
There you go. Well, you got on the cheap now. That's good. We're going to bring up an actor, a speaker, one of the best speakers you'll ever hear talk. He's also a screenwriter. And David Raynor, you're going to have to mute yourself. But David is a fantastic person to be around. His bride wasn't able to join us tonight. But David, go ahead and take us through a little bit of some of the basic things and why you're in, and then how do they get started? How does this thing work for them?
Thank you, Al. Thank you, everybody. It's been great. As always, I love joining these events because it inspires me. And if you're on here, my feeling is that you're either you've already made a decision to be a part of this company and share it, or you're on here and you're taking a look at this company and you have some choices. You have the choice to be a customer and get these products in your body. They are life-changing. They could literally change someone's life, as you heard Leah talk about. And that's not a singular story. That story happens all the time. Maybe you're looking at a business opportunity. I mean, we do know as Dr. Stephen shared, that many, many people do not want to go back to work. And, I just tell you a little bit about me personally. My wife and I had the wonderful house in Calabasas, California. We were probably near the Kardashians, but we didn't know we were. And we ended up in an industry that started falling apart. I was in the movie business, and it went in the time period right around 2010. It started becoming the TV business, and we were so deep on the movie side that when that income stopped, we got into trouble. We lost our home. We had our kids in private schools, and we were juggling it. We lost a lot of what we had accumulated up to that point in our life. And, what happened for me is I started becoming aware of what I was seeing in my life. I learned something, and maybe you could apply this to your life. We can never see anything that we don't believe exists. And at the time, I didn't see possibilities in my life that were all around me. I didn't see support that was all around me, and I had to start to change what my brain was focusing on. And if you're here now, my question to you is, what kind of life do you want? If you have already made a decision to join this company, then this is an incredible possibility. But the question becomes, what will you do? What will you focus on? What will you see? Because as Glen Hubbard will tell you, this is one of the greatest opportunities at the right place at the right time in the world. We have the greatest management, greatest leadership. This team, we have people on this team that will go through a wall for you if you want to build a business. And if you want to be a customer, you have that same support to help you feel better and perform better. However, unless you change the lens you are looking at life through, sometimes you can miss this special moment. Maybe you don't see that you're willing to support yourself. So my challenge to you is that you can have it all. What we did is we started opening up to possibilities, and we were at a low, right? We have a child with special needs. We lost our house. We have 2 other wonderful children, 3 other wonderful children. And we just started opening up. And when we did, we saw the home-based business community, and we had never really been open to it before. And many of you have been very successful in a lot of areas of your life. But my question to you is, are you doing that same level that you are at in this business? Because if you're not, you might be like us. You know, it was like reinventing yourself. And sometimes that's not easy. But my challenge to you is that, like, when we opened up, we started to see that this was everything we wanted. This had impact. It had connection, community, income, residual income, changing lives, travel, leadership. Everything I was looking for was right in front of my eyes, and I didn't see it until I started looking. So if you're joining us tonight, somebody cares a lot about you. They invited you to be a part of this, whether you've chosen to be a part of it and have done nothing, or you've chosen to be a part of it and you've gotten engaged, or you're here for the first time. Just know somebody sees you and they want to help you. They want to help you go to the next level in your life. And it's real, everyone. It is real because it happened for my wife and I, and we are blessed enough to have found the Happy Company as it goes around the world to create an asset that can be generational. So Al, I thank you for having me. And I thank you all. I just really hope that we all together can work together to take this to the world, because it deserves it and you deserve it. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Just want to say thanks to Mark and Judy Willitson. Basically, this is funny, guys. 20 plus years ago, they were in my down team in another company. Okay. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't think, I sort of wish Mark and Judy were still underneath me. It's not based on volume. It's based on love. I want you to know that. They're the #1 income earners in the company. I want to thank Brian Heflin. As we got launched in this company here, we had a tremendous amount of help from Brian Heflin and some other people. But I want you to think about this. What we have is real. This thing is going to go to the world. Okay. It already is going right now to the world. You get to be part of it. You get to decide how much of it do you want. Okay, because all we do is good. And I just wanted to say thank you, Judy Willison. You are awesome. Thank you for having us all host on the call. And the parts where we have to clean it up and have it taken out, like the 100 million, he hasn't put it in. He's only put in 30 million so far, or 33 million. But guess what? He will put on the 100 million. Just thought I'd go there. So God bless and have a great night. And back to you, Judy.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Al. Thank you, everybody. This was an incredible call. Thank you for sharing stories. Make sure you guys send this video out to everybody and get with the person that shared this with you. And we hope that you become a part of the Happy Co. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks again. Great call.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.